Well, okay, I'll give it a minute. Truth hurts, doesn't it? Well, I think I should talk about our messed up world that we're living in. A little bit of a truth hurts rant today. Just because the truth does hurt, though, sure does. It hurts a lot of people every day. Seems like in the manosphere, the truth seems to hurt people there too. Just like it does over on the other side there, than people speaking up about politics. It hurts a lot of people in today's society, truth does. That's right, the truth really does hurt, does it? I don't understand it myself because I don't seem to be hurt by it myself. But I know lots of people around me and I see it all the time that are being hurt by the truth. They get madder and hell at me because I speak the truth. I come up there online and I speak out and I make a lot of enemies because I speak the truth. Because they can't handle the truth. The truth hurts them. You know, there's not much I can say about that. I see off the grid is with me. I'll tell him hello, hello. See, I see you. I know you're there. But yeah, I want to speak a little bit about that because even in the manosphere, you discover the fraudulent McTollers. That's right. The fake MRAs. The people who want to just whine and cry and complain because they can't get some drama in their life. I mean, a woman in their life. I couldn't help but say that. Because in today's society, to want a woman so bad is like wanting drama so bad. I just don't understand why I can't get drama in my life. Okay, now I'm being sarcastic, but in reality, today's society, that's what it's like in the dating arena. When you got a woman in your life, that's what it's like. It's like you must love drama, huh? Drama seems to have replaced love in today's society. But in reality, when I look around me, I just see it every day and all the time. And I don't understand why people think they have to lie so much. They can't even tell the truth about the simplest damn things without making up a lie. It's just unreal. It's unreal. It's unbelievable. And some of the lies I get to hear just blows me away. How they think somebody's going to actually believe this, okay? There's a female friend of my wife's here, and, she's got a daughter that she lost years ago. I don't know, 7, 8 years ago, what have you, she lost his daughter. But it managed to keep it in her family. Her brother's got it. Her brother adopted the kid. So, once you legally adopt it, then she loses parental custody of her child. Right? Because this is the way it works. If you have a child that's been taken away from you by the system, and that somebody adopts that kid, doesn't matter if it's family member or not a family member. At that point in time, once an adoption is officially done and the parent signs the adoption papers, they give up their parental rights to their child. So she proceeds to say that she can't leave state or do this or do that because she has been court ordered to see her child. Okay, now let's just get this straight. We all know that in a divorce, people with children, a court ordered to the parent that ain't got the child has a right to visitation. But we also all know that if the parent that has the child chooses to deny the other parent their visitation right, don't do any good to call the police. No. Don't do any good. No. They won't do a thing about it. What you have to do is go to your local courthouse and pay them money, the tool, that's right, and take your ex back to court and tell the judge she's not allowing you to see the kids. Now the judge is going to slap her in the hand and tell her naughty, and then she's going to let you see her kids for once or two times, and then she's going to deny it again. And then if you want to see the kids again, you got to go through the same spiel, fill out the paperwork, pay the money, wait for the date. It's a lot of work involved, a lot of time waiting. Meanwhile, you're not getting to see your kids. And you're spending money to take her in front of the judge again, so she can get her hand slapped again, so that she can repeat itself over and over and over. And a lot of times a parent, if you pay attention in today's society that's got the children, this don't happen 100% across the board, but man, it happens a lot. Where she literally brainwashes the children and turns them against their father. Because everything was the guy's fault. We all know that, right? I mean, you do know it's your fault, right? Doesn't matter what it is, it's your fault. But the lying is what really gets to me with people, because you got an excuse for everything, don't you? So long as you don't got to take responsibility for your own actions. You got an excuse for everything. It's like the fraudulent truthers. They come up here in line and scream and whine and cry about the false flags, about the this and about the that, and about the Illuminati, and okay, the powers to be and the bankers, and it doesn't matter. The only reason they get by with what they get by with is because us, the people, never stood up for ourselves. You know, and then I'm watching these videos, and I'm watching some of these damn ridiculous freaking videos that you know is really going on with checkpoints. Whether it's a DUI checkpoint or are you an American citizen checkpoint? And I like to call these people, these checkpoints, Nazis. Because that's really what they are. They're Nazis. They're criminals. They're order followers who haven't got a lick of common sense in their head, that don't understand natural law, that don't understand that you should have a right to travel to and from freely. Okay? I can respect in some points the DUI checkpoints, but even that's going overboard. You know, because you're stopping everybody that's coming down the road at a certain point, and then you're doing this sobriety test on them, you're doing this, you're doing that, and that's if it's a DUI checkpoint. I remember once when I was living up in Florida, I was headed home, and the direction I took, I got to the stop sign and I took a right. And straight ahead of me on the other side of the street was a DUI checkpoint. And you seen the cops all lined up the street right there, and the cones out, blah, blah, blah. But I wasn't going straight. I was turning. So I turned. I already had my signal on. If Lusky kill, I'd be dead. Them cops were pissed. How dare me turn? You know, and I was like, go ahead, stop me if you want. But by the time you catch up to me, I'll probably be pulling in my driveway. And you'll discover that I live here. Why would I go that way? But, I always wanted to get up here and rant a little bit about the freaking liars that we have in today's society. How people have accepted lying to be norm. How their television set gets to report lies to them. Lie after lie after lie after lie after lie. And how people are getting mad because they're being told the truth. At the same time, they don't want to be lied to. It's unbelievable how you can say you don't want to be lied to. And then when they tell you the truth, you get pissed off at them for telling you the truth. So obviously you want to be lied to then, huh? Because when you're pissed off for somebody telling you the truth, or you got your own opinions, that's correct. But come on, let's get real. Do you really believe all these phony, baloney school shootings took place? Do you really believe in 9/11? Okay, there's just so much I could go into here that's so in your face that you know it's fraudulent. You know it didn't take place. You know they're lying to you. And what was it this morning? I noticed there was another mass shooting. That's right. Didn't happen here in the U.S. this time. It happened overseas. But I don't believe that neither. And I'm not going to make a video about it because why would I want to make a video about it? Because I don't believe it. See, the problem is this. When you're lied to on a regular basis and you know you're being lied to, if you got a quarter or a third of a brain in your head, then you're going to disregard anything that falls out these people's mouths. You're not going to believe one single word they say, and it doesn't matter they're telling the truth. They're still a liar. And I don't believe them, even if it is truth. And if you get mad at me for not believing somebody when they told the truth, but when they've already made a reputation of being a liar, why would you believe anything that comes out their mouth at all? If they want to get angry at you for not believing them, when they're the ones that's made their reputation of being a liar, they can go look in the mirror and figure out why you don't believe them, huh? Every time they look in the mirror, they can see the reason you don't believe them. But see, this is what our society does. It's outrageous, it's nuts. It's completely nuts. It's complete insanity. You got the rights and the lefts and the Democrats, Republicans, all the same. Doesn't matter. Y'all know these people are lying to you, and you just say, well, yeah, we know they're lying, but you're still going to run around and vote for no liar. And then when they didn't do what they told you they were going to do when they were already a known liar, you're going to get angry and throw yourself all over the place because they lied to you, but you already knew they were a liar when you ran out and voted for them. This is how insane our world is. And it doesn't matter what you say, that is the damn truth right in your face. You know it, and you know it's the truth, but you don't want to own that because you don't want to look like the dumbass that you really are. I know I called some people dumbasses. Well, that's because they are. How can you honestly say you know this politician's a liar, but you're going to run around and vote for him? And then on top of it, you're going to get mad when they don't keep their promise. That's the definition of a nut job. Somebody who's lost their damn mind. Why did you believe anything they said to begin with? See, I don't come up here and sugarcoat stuff for people, and I don't come up here and lie to you. It's probably why I ain't got too many friends online. I got a few. I got a handful here and there, But I got a lot of people that hate my guts just because I told them the truth. And if you speak of the double standards and the dating scene, you even get hated worse. All you got to do is speak up against a corrupt female to be called a woman hater. I hit this damn bug in the back of my throat here. It's going to drive me nuts. And so anyhow, that's really what it comes down to. When you think about it. You know, I can get up here and I can speak about the men, the corrupt men, the phony baloney TFLers that are calling themselves Big Toe. You know, I mean, they're really not going their way away from women because women didn't want anything to do with them to begin with. Though they want to choose not to look for a woman anymore, I would stand with them on that. Why? Just to be rejected? You know what that's like year after year after year, being turned down, being stereotyped, being called names, being pushed out, being pushed out. But what you don't know what it's like is to the guys who can't get women in their life, is you don't understand the drama in today's society that goes along with it. It shouldn't be going along with it, but it is going along with it, right? Yes, there's going to be a little bit of drama along the way. That's normal. That's human nature. She's being herself, you're being yourself. You're not always going to agree. It's learning how to agree, to disagree. It's learning how to compromise. That's right. It's learning how to become friends. Because there is no friend zone. That's just a bunch of BS and propaganda to divide and conquer. But the majority of people in today's society, as I've already said this a million times, don't know what the hell they're doing anyhow. But when it comes to the lies, here we are. You got to have game. So you got to be a skilled liar, huh? That's right. You got to be a skilled liar, a deceiver. So you can play game. Got to have game of the day, scene. Got to be a liar. Then you got to get up here and you got to, these people's got to make their videos speaking about the NWO, speaking about the false flags, speaking about the shootings, and speaking about the war, and speaking about the this, and speaking about the that. And the majority of them let their heads swell up. They think there's something they're not. And they wind up becoming like the very people they're speaking against. And they're too naive to know that that's what they're doing. They're acting just like the very people they're complaining about. Even when they think they're so smart and so intelligent, they wind up acting that way. And then, of course, they know that you're dumb, you're stupid, you won't notice it, you won't see it. Because you're not smart enough to be able to tell that, right? This is what they assume. They assume that, of course. Meanwhile, the ones that got half a brain in their head see right through them, watch their behaviors, knows that they're looking down on people, sees their behaviors, but meanwhile, the person doing this with their head all swollen up can't see that people are seeing it. As they become a deceiver themselves to the public and get wounded by truth. I've seen a lot of people over the years get hurt by truth who called themselves a truther. Them are the most funniest people of all. Is the one who calls himself a truther that makes content up on YouTube who gets wounded by the truth. When you call yourself a truther and then you get wounded by the very thing you're saying you are, I think that's hilarious. It just shows what a hypocrite and dumbass you really are, is all it does. It shows that you wasn't even half as intelligent as you were trying to make yourself to be. That's all it does. And most of that happens from the truther that claims to see both sides of the evil. You know, you most truthers speak against NWO, the monetary system, the wars going on, the false flags, and on, right? But the majority of the so-called phony truthers won't touch the manosphere. They won't dive into the truth when it comes to men and women and the war of the genders that is actually really going on. They will run from that. It'll be too personal for them. They'll have every excuse in their book to not touch it. And they'll turn around and act and play into what the powers to be wanted and keep the division alive and well. And this is really simple. All you got to do is be a man and call out a corrupt female, and they're going to call you a misogynist and a woman hater and tell you got mental issues, unless it's a selective female. If you were talking about Nancy Pelosi or Hillary Clinton, then they will accept that you can call them criminals and blah, blah, blah. You can call them out. But if you're talking about Jane or Sue or Mary or whoever that's not a politician, if you're talking about a woman who just took her husband to divorce court and raped him of everything he owned and committed perjury on the stand and lied her butt off, okay? If you're talking about a woman who's treating other guys like dirt, ripping them off and lying, and maybe she made false rape claims. Maybe she claimed you molested your kids so that she could use that to take the kids because she's worried she might lose custody of the kid in court. It doesn't matter. You see the corruption in your face, and the first thing that these vaginas are going to do, these simps, they're calling themselves truthers who are making content on YouTube about everything but the dating scene, of course, is they're going to stand right there and play into that division, and they're going to call you a woman hater. See, I've been called a woman hater lots of times over the years. And the majority of everybody that's ever called me a woman hater seems to have a dick between their legs that has put on a dress and put on some lipstick because they're not a man. They're a vagina. They're a simp. They called me a woman hater for pointing my finger at a corrupt female. They didn't understand that I don't hate women, I hate corruption. I hate double standards, I hate corruption, I hate liars, and I hate seeing men taken to the cleaners just because they got a penis between their legs. Don't mean I'm gay. It just means I care about right and wrong. But because I care about right and wrong, I'm perceived by a bunch of lunatics and psychopaths and narcissists and hypocrites to be a misogynist, a woman hater. That's right. I became all of this just because I pointed at a corrupt female. Yep. It made me an alcoholic. It made me a drug addict. It made me an animal abuser. It made me a pedophile. That's right. It made me everything vile. Everything that everybody despises is what I am. According to these vaginas. These simps who've never talked to me once in their life that don't know the first thing about me. And I became everything vile all because I spoke up against corruption and the war on the genders. And I dared to play, well, the truth in their face. But yet they called themselves a truther before they called me these names. And how did they become a truther? Well, they were a truther because they were fitting in. That's right. That's all it meant to them, was to fit in. To say something other people wanted to hear. They couldn't say something that people didn't want to hear because they might lose a subscriber. That's right. They may not be liked. They may not fit in. They may be ostracized. Couldn't have that now, could we? Maybe that's what makes me stronger than most of the people here online. Because, see, you know me by my name, don't you? You sure do. You know what I look like. I even tell people what state I live in, yes. See, I don't hide myself like most of the cowards online do. But you know what's hilarious about the cowards online? They're hiding themselves. Are they really hiding themselves? No. Because while they're calling themselves a truther and they're using a fictitious name and they're busy hiding themselves, thinking somehow this is going to keep them safe, they've lost their minds. Because it's not going to keep them safe. Because, see, the powers that be, the people you're speaking against, with a phone call or the push of a button, they can have your address and know where you live and be at your door. That's how well hidden you are from them. You're so well hidden from the powers to be while you're calling yourself a truther and using a fictitious name and you claim it's to keep yourself safe. Okay? And in reality, you're not keeping yourself safe at all. So I don't worry about this stuff that all you other people out there are worried about. You know, I've been speaking TFL, New World Order, Political End, the root cause of TFL. I've been speaking against corruption for a long time now. I never stopped living my life. I go to the store just like you do. I'd walk into a freaking Kmart, a Walmart, a Target, doesn't matter. I'll walk into a Sam's Club, I'll walk into a mall, go to public events, doesn't matter. And my face is out there. And only one time in all these years did a person recognize me. No lie, fact. From my videos. And that was in a Sam's Club in Newport Richey, Florida. Just so you know where I was at. See, because I don't hide myself. I was in Newport Richey, Florida in a Sam's Club. And I had a guy follow me from aisle to aisle to aisle. And I knew he was following me. I could tell he was. He kept looking at me. Every aisle I was in, he was on the other side staring me down. And after about 15 minutes of following me around the Sam's Club, he finally approached me. And I saw him coming. And I waited. And he'd come up to me. And I was like, okay, here we go, Bill. The fight is on. I got my hater right here. But no, it wasn't a hater. And it wasn't a hater. I was wrong, okay? But there we was, man. That's right there. And the guy didn't hate me at all. The guy followed me around. He thought he was freaking seeing things, is what he told me. He couldn't believe he was actually seeing the guy he's been following on YouTube for all this time. And there I was, right in his face. See, so, but that's one time in all these years I've been doing this, and the only time it ever happened. And I'm out in public all the time. It ain't like my life was ever sheltered or hidden, or I hid myself or lived in my bedroom. because that's not how it was. And I never worried about it. And even when I lost a job due to doing what I do, I still am here, ain't I? Yeah. I may have slowed back a little bit when he went onto my son's Facebook page and clearly sent me the message knowing that they knew now that who I was and I had a child. Because at the time he was underage, so I had to slow back a little bit just for my son's safety. But once he turned of age, there I am. I was right back. See, you're not going to, the thing is you didn't scare me off. You took my job, you blackballed me in the area I was living from getting a job. You sent the feds to my house. You did your scare tactics. And here I am. You put the green light in my window. You put it in Nicholas's window over in Germany. Because you knew he would tell me. Yep, that was your way of letting me know that when Nicholas wanted me to come and stay with him over in Germany, that go ahead and go there. We know where you're at. That's all it was about. That's all that was about was intimidation. Scare tactics, intimidation. That's all it was about. I don't scare. You don't intimidate me. You're not going to shut me up. I'm not going to stop. Eventually, I'll stop because I won't be here no more. I'll be gone. I'll be on the other side. Can't say it's going to be any better on the other side after I die than it is here. I'm hoping I'm not reborn. I'm hoping reincarnation isn't here. But if reincarnation happens, I don't know. I'm not saying reincarnation is real, and I'm also not saying it's fake. I'm only telling you what I feel and what I say when it comes to that topic. It's hard to back up anything, but I can tell you this. There is life after death, whether you want to believe it or not. And I don't care what you believe. I have my own belief. You're welcome to have your belief. I'm not going to slam you for it. But when it comes to the society we're living in now, it's all based on lies and propaganda. Why people ain't fired up and all pissed off over being lied to by their television set 365 days a year is beyond me. How these so-called men that are out here can sit there and watch their television set and watch themselves being bashed down and smashed over the head with a hammer by our man-hating, male-bashing society we're living in, and how you don't see it or how you don't care, it's just beyond me. Because if you ever had a female bashing society the way we do for men, I'll guarantee you the women would be up in arms. The women would be pissed. They would be PO'd. They wouldn't put up with it. And guess what? All the simps and the Johnnies would be right there alongside the women. Crying out how we're abusing them women. But yet when you do it to a man, they just bend over and say, "Where's the lube, Rev?" And they take it. That's really what it comes from. So, and how, it's beyond me how we can live in a society with so much propaganda and lies going on regularly. And the male bashing. It's disgusting. How you can hate one gender so bad. You ever noticed how much men hate men? And then women hate men. And your television set even just confirms it for you. But yet, here we are in the manosphere with all these guys whining and crying and complaining about what's going on, how they're being treated. And it's not that they're lying to you. They've turned it into a game, an arena, a sport, a competition. To one up each other for who's going to be the better victim or the bigger victim, right? Tell me you haven't lost your damn minds. You know, when you try to get people together, you try to get men in the manosphere together. Because the only way we're ever going to freaking make a change, any kind of a difference, is to start standing together. But that ain't going to happen. You all know it ain't going to happen. Because you're all too divided. I mean, you know, hell by the dashboard light. I mean, he said a lot of great stuff, but then he also, at the same token, he does a lot of male bashing against other men that've done nothing to him. He's not helping his cause when he does that. Okay, you know, this is what I mean about the hatreds, man hating their own self. I don't know why you just don't get a hammer out and just right out on video, take the hammer and start pounding yourself across the head. Because you hate yourself so bad for being born a male. That's really what it comes down to. How come you hate yourself so bad for being born a man? Really, seriously, how do you men hate yourself so bad for being born a man? Why do you put all your focus on some other man and blame them for your failures? You failed to get a woman in your life you rejected over and over and over. And somehow it's got to be that guy I've never met in my life fought because he has a woman in his life. No, it's not his fault. It's social engineering. These women are rejecting you because of social engineering. It's NWO. It's social engineering. It's programming. It's divide and conquer. And it's so in your face, the root cause is right there. I mean, it's screaming at you. And most of you don't want to see that. You don't want to acknowledge that because that hurts your little feelers, right? Is that what happens? You hurt your feelers? You know, it's sad. It really is. It's sad. There's nothing I can do to help people because people at the first one to help themselves. You know, I have enough of my own issues going on. And I don't come up here and I don't blah, blah, blah to people. You know, I got my own health problems going on and, you know, and I know I shouldn't smoke, but guess what? I've been smoking for 40 plus years. So I'll light a cigarette and have another one. That's how that works. You say, well, that cigarette's killing you. And I'll say, yeah, but them chemtrails that you breathe in are killing you too. Them GMO foods that you're buying from your grocery store are killing you too. And no, they're not researching for a cure for cancer. They've had the cure for cancer for years and years and years and years and years. They know exactly what causes cancer, exactly how to get rid of cancer. But they pulled the blanket over your eyes and fooled y'all with their propaganda. It's like with my health, you know. I always tell my son, you know, I tell him straight up, I says, you know, one day I'm not going to be here no more. And you're going to have to do this stuff yourself. And I try to set him up so when I'm not here no more, he'll be able to care for himself. And I've done everything I can do to help him in that manner, okay? But I don't buffalo my son. I don't pull the wool over his eyes. I've told him straight up just the way it is. Okay, you know? And it's not a lie. It's not a lie. It's the fact. One day I won't be here. And I know there'll be a lot of you online who'll be so happy that I'm not here no more. And others of you won't. You know, you just be, oh, okay. Looking for the button. There you are. See, I don't know if you see this or not. Okay, but that's what that is. I don't know if you know what this is. Okay. This is called Life Watch. No, I don't want to really no event right now, you dummy. Probably don't know what that is, right? That's called Life Watch. Yeah, I have that on me right now because my health is such great health, That's the way it is. But I'm not gonna lie to you. My health isn't good. One day I won't be here no more. But all these years I've been fighting. I've been fighting for what's right for everybody. And I've been raising a child that's no longer a child the entire damn time. Steve Hoka knew this about me. And this is the one thing I appreciate about Steve Hoka. He's brutally honest, like myself. Okay, and he knew this about me. He knew that I was raising a son. See, Steve Hoka was around when my son was like 7 years old. He was 7, 8 years old when Steve Hoka was around. That's back in the day. Now he's 22 years old. So where'd the years go? But I have my health issues that one day says I won't be here no more. One day you're just gonna see my channel sitting there and week after week after week after week will go by and there won't be nothing, there won't be nothing, there won't be nothing. I'm hoping that I can get my son to come up and make a video and let you know that I'm gone, I'm not here no more. When that time comes. So, I'm still working on that. To get my son to come up on his dad's PC when that time comes and make a short video and introduce himself and let you know that I'm not here no more. Because that day is going to come. It's probably closer to what I would like to think, and at the same time, I'm hoping it's not as close as I like to think. But I'm used to it. If you had to have a night like I had last night trying to sleep, you'd know what I was talking about. Can you imagine how many of you people have had your foot fall asleep? Okay, you know what it's like to have your foot fall asleep. Now I want you to add this to it. Yep, both feet are sound asleep, and the very bottom of your feet is burning. Fire, burning. That's right. While your sciatic nerve running down your leg is making your leg throb, and it's happening to both legs. So you got your both legs throbbing and hurting. You got both feet sound asleep with fire going through the bottom of your feet. While you're having chest pain. And where's your sonic nerve and why are my feet on fire? Is from my back. Because I have back problems. See, here a couple weeks ago, I took a fall. I stepped outside at 5 a.m. in the morning. 5:30 it was 5:30 to start the vehicle because I take my son to work every morning. And I was at the top of the deck. And I stepped outside and I was at the bottom of the deck, landed right on my back, right where my back is bad. And I am bruised up and down my backside big time. So I added injury to the injury because you didn't think I was going to land anywhere else, did you? I mean, come on. You wouldn't think that I'd land on a new spot, right? Oh, no. Couldn't do that. If I'm going to fucking go from the top of the deck to the bottom of the deck and come down on my back, I need to land on the spot that's already injured, right? Wasn't my idea, but that's exactly what took place. So I'm bruised up big time. I'm sore. And I've had my sonic nerve problem going on for a while. And I refuse to go under the knife again. I've known people that's had back surgery that done nothing for them. And I've been to the back doctor specialist. I've been through an MRI. I've been through the spill, fucking shot in the back, fucking nerves and blah, blah, blah. And physical therapy, and they wanted to cut me open. Then I was told that I was a high risk for cutting open because of my heart and my lungs. And that I could die on the table and all this crap. And I didn't want to just be cut open, period. So, because of the fact that why are you going to cut me open and freaking when you're done? My back's still going to be hurting for the rest of my life. My sonic nerve's still going to be giving me shit. And maybe you fixed about 10% of my problem. The rest is still there for life. So, I didn't get it done. So I live with bad back. I live with my heart being bad. I live with my lungs being bad. I'm in the last days of my life. And I'm still fighting. And I don't care. I don't shut up. So that y'all know. This, and I'm just telling you because I don't want you to be taken by surprise when I'm not here no more, okay? That's how that's going to work out. But while I am here, I'm not going to shut up. And I'm going to have wishes and dreams for everybody out here, for all of us. That the men would finally get their heads out of their you-know-what and come together. And that we could fight for what's right for everybody. Because this has never been about myself. My fight that I've done for all these years now has never, ever, ever, not one time been about myself. It's been about all of us. It's about what's right. It's about right and wrong. So, and that's what it is. And that's why I say what I say. Because it's always been about everybody, all of us. It's never been about me. When I came up and gave you the name True Force Loneliness, TFL, it's because it was real. It was really going on. When I spoke about the political end, and I told you the government was involved in the dating arena, when I first said that, I got attacked, and I got told I was completely nuts. And if you say the government's not involved in the political arena, then you might want to ask yourself a few things, even right now. Tender. If government wasn't involved, what's Chelsea Clinton doing? Chelsea Clinton being in a high position in the dating arena board on Tender. But anybody with any brains knows the government's been involved in the dating arena for a long, 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 long time. Okay, anybody that's done any kind of homework and looked into anything at all understands this. You also understand that the propaganda and the lies that's being fed to all of us, and we just sit back and we just keep taking it and keep being lied to and keep being lied to and keep being lied to. And I don't understand why we haven't gotten so pissed off and went after these lying just think my name, but these lying assholes and locked them up. But we don't, do we? No. What we do is exactly what I said earlier. We believe that there's a left and a right, or a Republican and a Democrat when there isn't. We call ourselves one or the other. We all acknowledge that our politicians lie to us. And then we run right out there and vote for that liar. And then we get angry at them for not doing what they said they were going to do because they lied to us. The definition of insanity. That's really what that is. Now that we've done all that, here we are saying we have to have game in the dating arena. And what is game? Just being a skilled liar, a deceiver. Who's the better con artist? Who's the best liar? Then you couldn't figure out why nothing worked out because you're all busy playing each other for your own selfish gain. And when I get into the manosphere and I start looking there, I see the same crap going on. I see incels against incels fighting one another for who's going to be the bigger victim. I see fraudulent men going their own way, not even going their own way. Okay? Not at all. They ain't going their own way. They're jumping through all the hoops trying to put their dick in a hole. And then the ones that ain't jumping through the hoops trying to put their dick in a hole, calling themselves a MGTOW, are TFLers. But they don't want you to know that they're a TFLer because they got to hide that part. It's just absolutely insane. And the most honest people out of the manosphere are the true TFLers. The ones that come up online and say, I am a TFLer, when you watch them, they're actually the most honest people out of the manosphere. And why are they the most honest people out of the manosphere? Because they're not trying to hide the truth. Why is men going your way so fraudulent? Because they're busy hiding the truth. Why is incel all messed up? Because they're busy playing a game to outdo one another. A sport, an arena, a competition. Like a bunch of idiots. Now, excuse me when I say this, but that's what it is. It's like a bunch of idiots. And then when I look over on the other side of the arena at the truthers, I see truthers telling you a lot of truth about false flags, about the war, about your monetary system, but not all of it's truth. You got propaganda in there because they're having trouble getting the truth because the truth has been buried and skewed and twisted and manipulated. And you got to be awake enough to be able to pick the truth out of the propaganda. You know, so you see what truthers are out there speaking out. But even the truthers have turned themselves into hypocrites and are speaking against the powers to be, the Illuminati, the whatever you want to call them, right? And while they're speaking against who they're speaking against, they're becoming just like them. They're becoming hypocrites. Maybe one of them gets a viral video. Maybe another one gets a viral video. Yep. You get a few people up there that get viral videos. I know I've had my share, right? Over the years. You can't just create a viral video, and the ones that do just create a viral video and go viral every time they create a video, in today's society, it's because they're a plant, they're an agent. It's deliberately done. Now, back in the day before Google had their hands on YouTube, and it was privately owned and run, you could only do a 10-minute video. That's it. You could do a 10-minute video. And if you got a video that went viral then, it was really went viral. It wasn't deliberately done by some criminal. It was for real. I know I was here. But you got to be able to control your own behavior. If you get a viral video, it don't make you special. You're not a special little snowflake. You're not smarter than somebody else. You're not above somebody else. But unfortunately, they got a lot of hypocrites up here with eagles who don't understand that power and greed and ego are all one and the same. Power absolutely corrupts the human mind. Greed absolutely corrupts the human mind, and your freaking ego will absolutely corrupt you. If you don't self-check yourself and you got ego, you will become like the very people you're speaking against. But you can't get that through these people's heads. They see nothing wrong with being a hypocrite, not understanding when they're being a hypocrite and they know they're in the wrong, and they're going to be a hypocrite to protect their ego, that they are now no better than the very criminals they're speaking against. So whether you're speaking against the Masons, the bankers, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Pope, doesn't matter. You know, it just does not matter whether you're speaking against Hollywood, Trump, Clinton, that's right, Obama, it doesn't matter. You can speak against all the corruption you want, but if your ego is inflated and you have to protect your ego at all costs, you have become like Hillary Clinton. You are compared to Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama. That's right, you compare to them just fine. Your comparison to the scum you're talking about fits in there just fine. You're just like them. Because you won't self-check yourself because you know you don't make no mistakes, right? Because you're so perfect. You're so above everybody else, right? No, you're not. You're not so perfect. You're not so above nobody. And then your body language screams it and you tell on yourself and you don't even know you are. You'll be looking down on people thinking they don't know that you're looking down on them. When they know that you're looking down on them because your body language told on yourself. But you're too naive to know that. This is the type of corruption I see when I'm over on the other side looking at the truther community. I see hypocrites. I see people with egos that are inflated. You know, you get somebody comes along and they're telling the truth, but they give themselves credit for being the only one to tell this truth. But they're speaking all the same stuff that this other person that's been here for 10 years before that person come along said all the same stuff this person that come along now says. But the person that come along 10 years after these guys have already done it is taking all the credit for being the only one to ever do it. That's called ego. That's right. That's called corruption. Because that ego is going to corrupt them. And then you watch these truthers get into their fights and their wars against each other and become divided themselves. Then you wonder why you could never stop the criminals. Because you're all divided yourself, because you're all fraudulent, phonies, fakes. See, it's no different than the manosphere. You're pitting yourselves against each other, you're playing a damn game, sport and arena, to try to outdo somebody else. And then you got the people that are here for just the tool, money. You know, so you got your fraudulent 15 minutes of fame and you got your people that are here just to make the tool money who actually don't care about what's really going on. The only thing they care about is their own pocketbook, their own selves. And then you would wonder why evil is tromping over the top of good. And so we sit back and we watch our media lie to us around the clock. Then you said, but there's alternative media who has been hijacked and lying to you just as much as your mainstream media is. And you're unable to see that too, ain't you? You can't tell that mainstream media and alternative media are now being one and the same. Liars, propaganda tellers. You still have a whole bunch of people that stand up for Alex Jones. Even though the man's been caught lying hundreds of times, you still run back to your liars and believe them. Then you get mad when somebody tells the truth as it really is. See, this is how you become unpopular, is when you tell the real truth in today's society. Because there ain't many of you that want real truth, is there? You wouldn't want to be talking about what's going on over in Yemen, right? You wouldn't want to be talking about what's going on overseas. You wouldn't want to be talking about what's really transpiring. And most of the time, you're not going to know what's really transpiring because it's going to be the opposite. They're going to give you a show. That's right, your media and your alternative media, job is to keep your attention on them. And it's what they're not reporting to you that you better be careful about. And as far as the dating arena goes, it's a lost cause. Because until women can figure out that there's no such thing as a friend zone, till men can figure out that women have to be able to be their friend and you have to be able to be the female's friend, until you can take your heads out of your you know what, relationships will never be successful again. If you want a relationship to be successful, then you better get your priorities together. Dating was never about putting your you know what in a hall. Dating was about getting to know somebody to see if you could become friends, to see if you could be compatible, and then if you could become friends and you became compatible, then you still dated to become better friends, to really get to know one another. And then eventually through that, you found real love, which is like finding a dinosaur egg in today's society. And if you found real love, it didn't mean she was going to fall in love with you. That's right. But when things were right, both parties fell in love with each other. And if they kept the foundation that brought them together, they would have a long, successful life together, be able to have children and raise them children together. We don't see that no more, do we? Of course you don't. What you see in today's society is divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. So that's what we see. And we see all the lies and all the propaganda and all the male bashing. And so many men are turning their backs to the male bashing on their television set here in the U.S. anyhow. I can't speak for any other country because I don't live in any other country. Okay? I can tell you this epidemic is worldwide. I can tell you the same stuff's going on all over the world. But when it comes to the male bashing on the television set, I can assume that it's happening on the television set in Canada, that it's happening on the television set in Germany, in Russia, in China, but it will only be an assumption. I can't verify it because I can't watch their TV set to see. But I would be willing to bet that it is. Things ain't that much different over there than they are here. Because after all, this is NWO. None of this is an accident. It's all deliberately done. But hey, I'm going to get on out of here. I think I've been here long enough. But I wanted to jump up here today and talk just a little bit about the lying and the propaganda. And truth hurts. Men and women alike in today's society. It's not a discriminatory thing. And I don't like saying it that way because, see, I don't hate women, I never have. And when I talk about women, corrupt women, I'm talking about the women that are corrupt. I'm not talking about every single woman. And if you assume I'm talking about every woman and call me woman haters because you're the one with the problem, not me. I hate corruption. That's what I hate. I hate double standards. I hate watching anybody become a victim to anybody else, and it doesn't matter what your gender is. I'll stick up for a woman as quick as I'll stick up for a man. As long as she's in the right, you're damn right I will. I'll be right there fighting her battle with her. As long as I know she's in the right. Same thing I would do for another man. Because I respect us human beings as human beings. And I'm not going to slam a female because she's a female. I'm going to slam our system for social engineering as to what we've become. I'm going to slam a female that acts out on that system. That's right. For her own selfishness and don't give a shit who she destroys along the way. I feel for the TFLers because they done nothing to these women. And these women rejected them in 1 to 5 seconds. Over and over and over and over again. And then the other males come along and told them it was their own fault. When it was never their fault. The only time it's the TFLer's fault is when he's living in his bedroom. And never leaves his bedroom and expects them females to come to him. If you're self-produced TFLer, then you are at fault for your TFL. But for the true forced loneliness crowd, no, they're not self-produced. They've done everything society told them to do. They've went out there, they've approached, they've tried to impress, they've done everything they know how to do physically. And they've been rejected right in their face over and over and over and over again. In 1 to 5 seconds. And it was never their fault. The reason these women were so picky and rejecting them just that quick was from social engineering. See, the women are victims too, and this is what most men don't understand. They are victims, just like we are. Every last one of us, man and woman alike, are victims to NWO and social engineering that divided us. And you have to first open your eyes to see that, to understand that, to know that. Okay, so that's really where this comes from. It's not about hating anybody. It's about hating corruption. Hating narcissistic psychopaths and self-entitlement issues that women have that was created by men. When a woman believes that the man owes her everything, and you're damn right you better give her a want, it's because of social engineering and other vaginas, men. No, the woman is not owed her every want. And because you're a man don't mean you have to give her her want. And if she's going to get mad and say, fuck you and blah, blah, blah and run away, or I'll dump you if you don't give me my want, do her a favor and dump her immediately. Throw her right out the door on her damn ass. Kick her off that damn pedestal and let her land on her ass. Let her get fall on her face. And as soon as she realizes and starts waking up and takes her head out of her, you know what? Then you can give her the time of day. But until then, blow her ass off. Because she's not owed her wants based on her gender. Nobody is. Doesn't matter what gender you are. It's not about your wants. And a relationship isn't about one-sidedness. It takes 50-50. Straight across the board. With that being said, I guess I'm getting the hell out of here. or I'll keep going and going like an energized bunny. I'm gonna get out of here. Till the next one, you have a good one.